Alright guys, we are here at your finals, Andrew Weaver versus Giovanni Costa. I got nothing witty to say except I'm so tired. I've been up for 16 hours as of right now. Let's get into it because the faster we start this, the faster we can all get home. Sorry guys. Love you guys. Probably. I don't know.
Maybe.
Gio's already locked in. What the heck, dude?
Gio's fast with that Kyogre, Duskmane Necrozma, Incineroar, Talonflame, Gengar, and Ludicolo. Andrew going for exactly the opposite with Groudon and Victory Bell. Stack Attacka, Yveltal, Incineroar, and Tapu Koko.
I would like you all to know, Gio's Yveltal matchup sucks right now. Like, absolute, no, it's horrible.
No, look at that, it's pretty bad.
His Yveltal matchup is not looking pretty. Actually, his matchup against Andrew's team is in general, it's going to be an uphill battle. If Gio wants to win this final, this is the only way Gio gets points, is if he wins this final. 100%. If he doesn't, he's just...
A lot of stakes on the line then.
I
want to see, because last time I was commentating, I saw Giovanni come out with that Gengar with Ghosty and Z Destiny Bond. I'm curious if that's what he's going to do against Yveltal.
It's going to be tough because Destiny Bond is an interesting mechanic, so the Yveltal would have to 100% just go into the Gengar if he brings it.
Well, we see that Yveltal and Coco lead for Andrew. We see the Electric Terrain setup and the Dark Aura next. Then the Intimidate from Gio's Incineroar. Lastly, Duskmane Necrozma is the last mon that Gio's brought out here. So Andrew definitely has that speed advantage right now. But
well, yeah. So here's the thing: we've seen with we saw against like Andrew's first match against Dina that he is really bad at handling himself in Trick Room, and if he knows Gio's team, then he knows that Gio usually tends to run like a hard Trick Room team. So as long as he can go against that and set himself up in a way where he stops that from happening, then he's in a good spot. But
there's that fake out onto the top of Coco, and that foul play from the Yveltal is going to do a lot of damage onto the Duskmane Necrozma. Gets it down under 3/4 of its health. Weakness policy does activate because Duskmane Necrozma is insanely bulky thanks to its ability. But instead of going for Trick Room, it's going to go off with a Sunsteel Strike. And that could go for on either way here. I'm expecting that Yveltal hit for sure, and there it is. And thanks to that weakness policy, it's going to get the Yveltal down, but not out.
No.
And now we know Yveltal has Sucker Punch, so
here's what you do: you protect your Duskmane Necrozma, and you attack with Incineroar. So the thing is here, Gio understands that if he goes for Trick Room on this turn, all that Yveltal has to do is Sucker Punch, right? And Sucker Punch is still a threat here. But if Andrew understands that like Necrozma has to protect, and he Sucker Punches the Incineroar, that would be a lot better. Because then Tapu Koko, actually Tapu Koko and Sucker Punch together won't be as much unless Andrew burns that Z move right now past that Duskmane Necrozma.
Let's see. Well, there you go. There you go.
Miguel, why am I not playing this game?
That's like that is like the third time today you've called exactly. Oh, it's the Tapu Koko.
Yeah, no, Tapu Koko was gonna go for the
I don't know why I said
Necrozma.
Yeah, I don't know why I said Tapu Koko. Obviously, I think it was. I don't know.
The other electric type Pokemon on the
Yeah, exactly.
field.
It's like what? No. Of course, Tapu Koko, and there you go. That's the knockdown. But it actually took it.
Let's go.
It actually took it. There you go. Oblivion Wing coming out onto that Yveltal. I'm sorry, from the Yveltal onto Incineroar.
It's gonna heal a good
It's
amount.
gonna heal a decent amount, yeah.
I think you Flare Blitz now into that Yveltal to pick up the knockout.
Or U-turn. Is that good? It is neutral, and it's gonna be enough to get rid of the Yveltal. Regina's so. What do you think Andrew's gonna go into here?
Oh god, I don't remember what is on his team. What's his other restricted? His other restricted is Groudon, right?
Yeah, he's got Groudon.
I think you bring Groudon in here no matter what because you can go for the Pestis Blades and you go for Thunder. You're gonna stop Gale Wings here. You're gonna go for the knock-on on Necrozma. The problem is Gio has Gale Wings. He has priority Z move and he has priority Tailwind.
So I mean, it's tricky because the fake out is.
No, because you're gonna fake out the Duskmane Necrozma because Duskmane Necrozma can't go again, but at the cost of losing your Tapu Koko or at the cost of Gio setting up Tailwind.
Either way, well, we're actually gonna see Duskmane Necrozma switch out into Incineroar here. So back another Intimidate onto Andrew's side. Definitely gonna cripple his Incineroar a little bit. And now we see that Talonflame go for Protect, so just in case Fake Out was going to come out from Andrew's side, it can't anymore. Though we're going to see Thunderbolt, no Fake Out at all. Thunderbolt going onto the Incineroar slot does a good 60 damage there. And a double target onto the Incineroar slot, which was the former Duskmane. The critical hit gets rid of the Assault Vest from Giovanni. And now this Tapu Koko is free to either target the Talon Flame or go for that knockout.
Gio still has priority flying type moves and priority Z move. Also, earlier in the rounds when we were trying to figure out if Gio had a Assault Vest or a Berry on his Incineroar, it is Assault Vest. What's up, guys? Yeah, so...
Fake out preventing that Tapu Koko from moving, and the Tailwind is going to make sure Giovanni is fastest on the field with that Talon Flame. We see the Tapu Koko flinch and knockoff coming out to get rid of that Talon Flames item, which is that
it's going to be the Z Crystal, but it's also more importantly you stop Gale Wings,
yeah.
because that priority Z move is going to knock out that Tapu Koko. Now that you're faster because of Tailwind though, you still do kind of have to worry about it. So I think we're going to see a switch from Andrew here on what has spoken. We're going to see that Groudon come in at some point here, and I think if you're Gio and you understand that, you can definitely go for an attacking move, or you can just kind of switch out. You can pivot with Incineroar and bring in what I'm going to expect is a Kyogre in the back, and maybe possibly, you know, set up Trick Room later on if with Decimating if you can.
The Flare Blitz going to come out and knock that Tapu Koko down to red health, but it is going to survive and activate a Thunderbolt. That is going to get rid of the Talon Flame. It is gone.
He was definitely, I think, expecting
I think
a Groudon.
I think so too. U-turn from Gio's Incineroar is going to put him into another position. He can bring back that Duskmane, try and Trick Room now, but you do have it at the cost of Incineroar, or you can go to your final Pokemon, which we don't know yet. So, what do you think?
See, so you can protect Decimate here, and I think you're gonna bring back it. Oh gosh, that's gonna be rough. Yeah, actually that's okay. Sacrificing Decimate across my here is okay because you bring in Incineroar and you bring in Kyogre. You fake out something here and you go for Water Spout. The problem is the Groudon that's probably in the back for Andrew is gonna be unintimidated and it's gonna be able to go for Precipice Blaze at full health, which means Gio's win condition at the end is gonna come down to Origin Pulse. Like that's what the endgame we're setting up right here now is. Like you have to stop that Tapu Koko, you have to stop it with a fake out, and
I think he's gonna have to hope for like a Precipice Miss in the end here. Go for that Origin Pulse, try and fake out their the Tapu Koko, and go for Origin Pulse. Then hope that Precipice Blade misses and just spam Origin Pulse.
Yeah, because I doubt, like with a Trick Room team, I doubt that your Kyogre is going to be faster than a Groudon because that's not something you want, especially when it comes to Trick Room.
So Tapu Koko switch out. There's that Groudon, so the sun's going to come out right away.
If Gio calls that and he goes for the Incineroar with a fake out, then he might still have no fake
Water
out.
Spout, no fake out coming out right now. That is going to do a good amount of damage onto both, but it is going to activate the Citrus Berry on the Groudon and gets Incineroar down to literally like 10 health. And Incineroar is going to eat its berry as well, so that's unfortunately not the best spot to use that Water Spout. We see the knockoff a little too late there. Knockoff coming off from Andrew's. Oh, okay. Andrew knocking off the Kyogre, revealing the choice specs from Kyogre.
Origin Pulse still. The problem is, I don't know how fast this Kyogre is. And that's going to be the tough part here. It's going to come down, I think, to an Origin Pulse if you can hit both of them. And Tapu Koko, if it's on its last leg, right? So if you can... Tapu Koko would have to make a choice later on, but this means that Gio has to hit his, he has to hit Origin Pulse and he has to survive a Precipice Blaze if he's slower than that Kyogre.
Groudon's going to protect, so it does give Gio another chance here to try and protect. He goes for another Water Spout, which is a not terrible move. It's not going to do as much, and in the sun, it still will knock out the Incineroar. So it's still, I think that Gio might have seen that protect incoming and attempted to just make sure he doesn't miss the Origin Pulse. Wanted to try and keep it in play. Tailwind now gone, so that makes it an even playing field here.
Oh no, I think he loses. I think he loses because unless, barring a Precipice Blade's miss, I don't think he comes out of this because Tapu Koko is going to be, Tapu Koko and Groudon are going to be faster than Gio's, both of Gio's Pokemon, that choice specs, and the Tailwind were really important for him. The Thunderbolt's going to do a lot of damage on terrain.
Target that Kyogre, it is gonna take it!
If
Precipice Blades misses on the Kyogre!
He needed that, that was the Pokemon he needed to miss. Oh my goodness. If he hits Origin Pulse, if Origin Pulse hits, it all comes down to Origin Pulse.
There you go.
Oh, Scald, what?
Goes for Scald! Goes for Scald! And it is going to knock the Groudon down to 1 health.
What in the fresh heck is this game, guys? What is going on?
Andrew's gonna take game number 1 with that.
I quit.
Wow.
Ridiculous. What is happening? What is happening in these matches, guys?
This
I
is
don't
insane.
understand. I'm the one who's supposed to be loopy from lack of sleep, not this game. Jeez. Oh gosh. Wow. Hi Ludicolo, would you like to join us on the field? Because I think that's what's going to have to happen.
I think
It's
so too, I think so
tough
too.
because Duskmane Necrozma, after that weakness policy has been activated, takes out Yveltal so easily. The problem is, if you bring in Ludicolo in this match against that Yveltal, you're losing something that can take it down, and I don't think he really has much of a choice except to use Duskmane Necrozma, or at least just... Okay, unless he somehow starts with, like, let's say, Talonflame and Incineroar and goes for the Tailwind and U-turns and then brings in, like, Kyogre and then goes for Water Spout. Like, a lot of what Geo has to do to take down Yveltal requires so much setup that Andrew can kind of get his traction going and take down Geo's Pokemon one by one.
I think that's, like, the only thing Geo can do here. Andrew has such a tough team, really, to counter. Groudon coming out.
Told you his Yveltal match was horrible.
Yeah, you're right. You're absolutely right. Yveltal, Groudon, and Victory Bell, are some of the hardest Pokemon to counter all at once. We see the Yveltal Tapu Koko lead, so that's the same lead coming off of Andrew's side. Incineroar, Necrozma, same thing from Giovanni here too. So, this is intense. This is intense.
This is rough because we know that Gigawatt Havoc, it might have potentially been a roll, I'm not 100% sure, especially past Protect, right? So the problem here is what do you do now that you know that he can take out your Yveltal and your Yveltal is going to be a huge piece of your puzzle, right? So it's still a tough call because if you fake out like the Tapu Koko and Geo, if Geo sets up here with Trick Room and actually,
well, now
if he calls that, that actually might be it might actually work out in his favor. Fake out the Tapu Koko,
and it is gonna connect that Tapu Koko. And a Sunsteel Strike, though not Trick Room, coming off the Geo side.
Yeah, that's gonna make this next turn really rough for him.
Yeah.
He has
and then targets the Incineroar slot. Shakes.
He doesn't have anything in the back that can take a Gigavolt Havoc at all. Like 100%, there's nothing in the back that can take that Gigavolt Havoc.
Not only that, Andrew also has Fake on the field.
Yeah,
so
it's
really tough spot for Giovanni here. There it is,
no
that Fake out.
Either.
It goes onto the Necrozma slot. Volt switch for the Tapu Koko onto the Incineroar, meaning Tapu Koko is it can reset back into that Yveltal or go into Groudon, especially with both of Giovanni's Pokemon right here being weak to ground. That could have been a good better option, but Yveltal's going to come back in.
That chip damage might actually be important as well because Sucker Punch is going to do a lot later on. At least you get some damage onto the Yveltal. You can bring back in. I think it'd be a really smart idea to bring in Kyogre.
I think so too. No, he's going to go for Talonflame.
Okay, let's go. Tailwind and make really good use of that Tailwind. Necrozma definitely went for Trick Room.
Oh yeah.
So that's why he brought Talonflame in. If Necrozma hadn't gotten Flinch and he got the Trick Room up, we would have seen Kyogre come in at that moment.
I bet so. But Talonflame now in a really good spot here to just go for that priority Tailwind. Andrews, I don't know if we've seen his Yveltal's item yet.
It's an Assault Vest.
It's an Assault Vest, so there's no possible Tailwind there. Necrozma getting out, a Plague, bringing back an Incineroar, getting back that Intimidate.
I think we're going to see Protect on this turn from Talonflame.
I don't know.
There's a Z move.
We're seeing the Z move come out.
I wonder.
Do you think Yveltal or Incineroar here?
Yveltal's the bigger threat. Yveltal is always the bigger threat for Geo here. Like, his main priority is he has to stop Yveltal.
Let's see if his Supersonic Sky Strike is going to do enough damage to take it out.
It's not, but it's gonna do some sort of damage.
We'll see. Right. Yeah, it does a decent amount. Snarl is not going to affect either of Giovanni's Pokemon, except it does remove the Gale Wings from Talonflame.
I love it so much. However, you now have the fake out from the Incineroar on Geo's side of the field. The critical hit U-turn actually might matter as well because we're gonna get that Groudon probably coming in here to go after. Actually, no. Yeah, we're gonna get Tapu Koko back. Tapu Koko makes the most sense because now Now Gio has to like make a choice because he doesn't have that Gale Wings priority anymore. He's gonna lose that Talonflame if he doesn't protect it, but Incineroar also has that fake out potential. But he has to stop that that Yveltal from going for something like Oblivion again, right? So that's the problem.
I'm also thinking that Sucker Punch here from Yveltal, which is going to switch out here. I think that might have been able to knock out Talonflame. I don't know, Talonflame's pretty friendly.
If he calls out and he fakes out the Tapu Koko and doubles down into it with something like Brave Bird as well, even after that Intimidate, there's actually still a chance here. Ooh.
But Tapu Koko's going to protect, so that cannot happen.
Cool, this is not a stressful game at all, guys. I can only imagine what they're feeling.
I know, right?
Oh! Ooh. He's going to double down soon, isn't he?
No, Talonflame actually goes for the Tailwind. Giovanni now fastest on the field of that Talonflame.
This is stressful. I don't like this.
This is intense.
This is fun. This is such a fun game, guys. This is so much fun to watch. So Protect gets burned, Incineroar. So Talonflame protecting here is really smart. You can U-turn now with Incineroar and bring in, I think, Kyogre is what you're gonna go for here.
Yeah. Well, attempted Volt Switch is gonna get shut down by Andrew.
Tapu
Koko, and that Flare Blitz is gonna connect. It burns, puts the timer on Tapu Koko. Does around 50% of the damage there. And we're gonna see a knockoff. It's gonna target the Incineroar. Gets rid of that Assault Vest once again. And
what's up with these critical hits on Incineroar? This is so sad.
Yeah, now at this point, protecting that Talonflame was genius because now you can go in for Brave Bird or Sacred Fire. I'm sorry, not Sacred Fire. I'm thinking
Ho-Oh. Wow,
no.
Talonflame became a Ho-Oh, guys. What up?
There you go.
What a glow up.
You know what? Talonflame, I would love to see the meta if Talonflame just got Sacred Fire all of a sudden. I think it would see a lot more use. But either way, Flare Blitz, that's going to definitely get rid of that Tapu Koko. So that Protect was very smart here.
This is gonna be fun, guys. Yeah, I mean Tapu Koko protecting is gonna be
I mean the burn also helps with the timer on Tapu Koko, and with Kyogre most likely in the back, we see that Flare Blitz attempt. But with Kyogre most likely in the back, getting rid of that Tapu Koko is insanely helpful, I think. And we're gonna see that U-turn switch out Giovanni. Giovanni's Incineroar. I think he's gonna go into Kyogre. He's got that Tailwind.
Incineroar's also gonna probably pivot out to bring in Groudon.
Probably.
Like, I don't see any other way that he can do this. So,
yeah, there it is.
And going into the
Kyogre slot, former Incineroar slot. And though Giovanni does have a bit, we know a couple things. First, he still has the Choice Specs, so that can still do a lot of damage to the Sun.
He's still in a tough spot. What he needs to do right now is he needs to take as much advantage of those Tailwind turns as much as possible, and that timer is going to be really hard. Tapu Koko having the burn is nice, but if Gio doesn't capitalize immediately on like having this Kyogre in Tailwind, he's going to be in a lot of trouble. He's going to be able to go for go for Water Spout if he really wants to go do that. But he also, I think, he needs to protect the Talonflame because the Talonflame is going to need that Tailwind for later on as well. It's a little bit of a tough call, I think, as of right now.
You're going to see the Talonflame switch out here into Incineroar. It definitely helps against that Groudon. If it goes for Breathless Blades, that Intimidate's going to make sure that Kyogre is going to survive it a little bit. And now we're going to see the Tapu Koko switch out, actually going into Incineroar here. So another Intimidate. But now both of Andrew's Pokemon are weak to a Water Spout, and with the Choice Specs we saw it did massive damage even in the Sun. We're going to see Groudon Protect here. That was definitely a wise play to keep that Groudon alive, because we don't know if this Water Spout is going to knock it out or not with the Choice Specs.
So here's the fun part for the next turn, right? Oh god, that is
going to take it.
So you have the Fake Out now. Groudon already protected, but Fake Out from Andrew's side of the field as well. So Tailwind expires as well. So Gio has to bring back that Kyogre. And I think what you're gonna see now is you're gonna see a Fake Out exchange, and we're probably gonna see. Yeah, so Kyogre's gonna switch out. If Andrew calls that, he's gonna fake out Gio's. Incineroar, but we're gonna get the Talonflame here as well. Okay, so
double switch here. Giovanni definitely gives a Tailwind and Trick Room option, so whatever would work best for him in this case, I think he's gonna definitely go for. We see that Breathless Blades. It's not gonna affect Talonflame. It does connect with the Necrozma now at +2 thanks to the weakness policy, and it doesn't even do 50% thanks to those Intimidates that Giovanni's been tossing at Andrew. So that was definitely a wise play, I think. And now he's as fast as on the field. We saw that fake out from Andrew's side. He's pretty much safe to set up a Tailwind.
I think his Necrozma is actually slower than a couple of these Pokemon, so he has to be really careful about how he's going to handle these next couple of turns. I think he needs to figure out how to set up Tailwind properly again, because he wants that Kyogre in the back for later on. The problem is he hasn't been able to properly deal with Andrew's Yveltal. I think the damage he's been taking has been really tough to kind of combat from. Yeah.
But there's that Tailwind. Definitely safest play, or safest time to use it, I think. And we're going to see the U-turn from Incineroar, going to get out of there. Is he going to go to Tapu Koko or Yveltal? What do you think is going to be the better one here?
Tapu Koko.
Yeah. Koko can easily
I think we're going to see Tapu Koko here.
It's tricky
because Yveltal.
It's tricky because like Tapu Koko handles the Talonflame, but Yveltal here can deal a massive amount of damage onto the Necrozma. Go for a Sucker Punch onto it, possibly.
If he gets rid of that Yveltal, he can turn this game around.
Yep. Sunsteel Strike. Add a +2 as well, so it's going to be massive damage.
But it's going to, Groudon makes sense.
Groudon going to eat its Citrus Berry. Didn't go down to that. And now the Sucker Punch is looming over both of Giovanni's Pokemon.
Excuse
roar,
me?
Groudon?
Excuse me?
It's going to roar out Kyogre.
I'm offended right now. Excuse me?
Well, now Andrew in a decent
Andrew kind of hurt himself? No, because Sucker Punch.
But then you can't go for Origin Pulse with the Scarf Kyogre and
Specs Kyogre.
Or Specs Kyogre, excuse me. I think Groudon's gonna have to switch out at this point.
Yeah. Whatever you bring in, Sucker Punch is gonna do a lot of damage to Kyogre. Yeah. Why is this game so stressful? You guys, don't do this to me.
Talonflame's switching out now.
For Incineroar.
That is going to go into Incineroar.
Makes sense.
Definitely smart to get that Intimidate for that Sucker Punch.
Yeah, this is his best option now. And then he's got Fake Out for that next turn. If he can get even with Sucker Punch, I think he has every option to like kind of get rid of what's going to come in here, which is probably going to be
another Incineroar.
Incineroar is the sacrificial lamb basically of this game right now. It honestly
feels like it, yeah.
Because Tapu Koko, Groudon and Yveltal are all too pivotal to Andrew's strategy that he can't get rid of it. Sucker Punch
does a lot less than I anticipated, but
Those Intimidate so nice. Water Spout's going to take care of that.
Yeah.
Very nice, yeah. So I think this is most likely actually going to go to a game.
I think so.
You can switch out the Kyogre here, and then you turn out with Incineroar again, and then like if you let so Gio enjoys setting up his long game, right? And that's barring any sort of like really bad RNG. So what you do is you withdraw the Kyogre, you kind of pivot out with Incineroar, and then you bring back in that Talonflame, and then once one of those Pokemon goes down, you bring back in both Incineroar and Kyogre, because I think at that point what you're going to want is you're going to want the weather, and then you're going to want the water spout damage as well. So, oh god, a game 3. Cool, guys, thanks. Possibly. I mean, this is barring a bunch of. I mean, wait, Tailwind's still up, right?
I think so. I think this is the last turn of Tailwind.
Yeah, so if Andrew protects and he burns a couple turns of Tailwind, there's still possibly a chance, but like, honestly,
I think it's going to go to game 3.
He kind of still just water spout.
Yeah, just good. I mean,
but the safest plays, I think, are making sure Kyogre gets set up for later on for the next couple of turns.
Incineroar switching out
for Talonflame.
Going into that Talonflame, yeah. Smart to bring back that Tailwind possibility. And there's the Water Spout. With the Specs in the sun, it is going to get rid of Andrew's Pokemon, and we're going to go to game 3.
Yeah. Okay, cool. This is very stressful for both of them, like 100%. Like, that was full of ridiculous stuff.
Yeah.
God.
That was intense, you know. Giovanni, I think, adapted extremely well there. You know, I think he brought in the exact same Pokemon as last round. But
I think after that first turn where he realized that Andrew was doing his best to protect Yveltal, he switched up his strategy immediately. Because the problem there is, when you're using Duskmane Necrozma, you're usually using it for triggering, right? But Talonflame offers you that sort of like faster speed control. The problem is you have less turns in Tailwind than you do Trick Room, so you have to be faster with it. Because Andrew's strategy when it comes to both of those forms of versus speed control is you burn turns with Trick Room, right? I don't think either of them are gonna switch the 4 Pokemon that they have because unless like having that priority Z move to deal damage on there, as long as it's not the Incineroar that you target down, I think with that with the Supersonic Sky Strike, then you're in a position where Andrew has to kind of consider how he's going to pressure his Pokemon because, again, Tapu Koko, Groudon, and Yveltal are such heavy hitters and so pivotal to Andrew's team that he really needs to make sure that they stay at relatively full health, or else he's going to be taking Choice Specs Water Spouts from a Tailwinded Kyogre.
Yeah, and you do not want to take that. That is brutal.
Yeah, I mean, at that point, you're just going to be ending up losing him. And, like, this is a really stressful situation because Gio understands he has to get rid of the Yveltal early on because that Yveltal is so stressful to kind of just deal with, right? Whereas Andrew understands that he has to make sure that he doesn't let Gio get too much of a foothold in terms of that tailwind.
Giovanni going to lead a little differently than the last round, going with Talonflame instead of Duskmane and Crozma in partnership with Incineroar. But Tapu Koko Yveltal still coming back out for Andrew's side. We see that electric terrain, we see the Dark Aura. So,
I mean, here you have to fake out that Tapu Koko, and you're gonna most likely go for, I think you're gonna go for Tailwind.
I think so too.
Because the thing is here, you want to set up your Pokemon for later on. So, I mean, I think Gio's trying his best to set himself up for where he can go for a U-turn later on. And Andrew's just gonna say no to that immediately.
Switching out his Tapu Koko into Incineroar right off the bat. And now another Intimidate coming off, but this time onto Giovanni's side. And that also helps prevent Talonflame and Incineroar from doing massive damage. We know Talonflame had that Z Crystal that it could use eventually. Tailwind up means Giovanni's now faster, but Oblivion Wing coming out last minute here.
It's gonna go to Talonflame.
Talonflame is gonna go down.
That's so much damage.
That's like over half of the amount of health Talonflame has there, so that's pretty brutal. It essentially means Talonflame's got like 1 turn.
You protect Talonflame, and you U-turn with Incineroar into the Yveltal. I mean, that's like my guess.
I would imagine that.
You either U-turn into the Yveltal or you U-turn into, actually, I think you're gonna get 3 daggers. So you protect Talonflame no matter what.
Yeah.
And either you,
or switch Talonflame.
Okay.
Not a terrible strategy, getting rid of that Intimidate. And bringing in Duskmane to Crozma and an attempt to maybe activate Weaken Falsity. Foul Play coming out onto the Incineroar slot, though.
That's so smart.
That was very smart. U-turn from Giovanni's side. Going to
if Andrew knocks off on the Talonflame, I'm going to be that's going to be ridiculous because the thing about Weakness Policy is if you knock it off, it still activates Weakness Policy. I'm just letting you all know that right now, which puts Andrew's which would put Andrew's Yveltal at such a horrible spot.
Yeah.
You're gonna bring in Kyogre, right? And you're gonna pick Water Spout?
Well, there you go. Now,
I'm gonna challenge Gio to a best of 3 after this. No, I'm not. We played a best of 3 once over dinner, and like he was so surprised at the team that I brought because it was an actual team. You're gonna knock off the Necrozma, right? No.
No, knocking off the Kyogre.
Oh God.
Well, now that Choice Spec is gone.
This is stressful.
This is stressful. That Choice Spec is out of play for the rest of the game. So
that damage.
That really hurts Giovanni because that allowed him to really use Kyogre effectively in the sun. Now that whole possibility is gone. I think we're gonna see Groudon switch in here instead of. We actually, you know what? Yveltal might just go Sucker Punch on the Kyogre right away and knock it out.
No, I think Gio's gonna understand he needs to switch out the Kyogre. He's gonna be okay, I think, with the Necrozma taking some sort of damage. Oh no, because if we get switched into Groudon, the Necrozma's gonna take way too much damage here.
We're gonna see the Incineroar switch out into Groudon, so now we know all 4 of Andrew's.
Whoa, there's no switch in from there's no switch out from the Kyogre.
That's true. Because Giovanni is gonna have the same Kyogre goes for the Ice Beam.
Was that that's only the second one we've seen today. Is it gonna get the freeze?
Is it no freeze?
But Sunsteel Strike double down into the Yveltal for sure.
So is that gonna be enough without the +2?
I don't think it's.
I don't think so either.
That's gonna be really tough. He's gonna have to hope for the best and.
Not quite. Foul play. Now the foul play onto the Duskmane Necrozma.
Yeah, now enough.
It'll survive, and it will activate that Weakness Policy. So now...
Which one do you? Sucker Punch!
Now you're in a tough spot.
Nobody's favorite 50-50 here.
Actually, I think here the safe play would be to swap Kyogre and protect Necrozma.
The problem is you also have Roar on that Groudon now too, which is like the weirdest thing ever. So... that's... man... cool. Whoever wins this final is definitely gonna deserve to win this final because this has just been like just a roundabout of what do you do here. And I think the smart thing to do is just to take as much time as possible to figure out what you want to do. We're gonna get the Incineroar probably,
Getting another Intimidate out, so gonna cripple Duskmane Necrozma even more. I don't know. I can't. Duskmane Necrozma can't hit that left side, and we're gonna see that Sucker Punch. It's gonna fail though. It went onto the Necrozma.
It did Trick Room.
100% going Trick Room.
Oh my god.
And now Yveltal's down now.
Did he sucker punch the
punched
Necrozma?
Wow. Okay. And the Tailwind's gone.
Oh my god.
Giovanni.
Hey guys, there's this really handy screen at the bottom of your DS that tells you how many turns of things are left, so make sure you always pay attention to that.
That is extremely good advice. Extremely good advice. The fake out is in play here. I think Giovanni.
You switched out the Necro. Oh, well, actually,
I think Protect would probably be better because you
switch out the Kyogre.
Definitely.
Switch out that Kyogre. You let Necrozma go down here.
Are you sure? Does Necrozma have Protect?
Necrozma has Protect, but that way you get to switch it into something else in the back of Talon. Or either you switch in Talonflame and let Talonflame go down here, and then go for an attack later on. Because what you want is that Kyogre to come in later on during Trick Room and go for the waters for the water spout or Scald or whatever, as long as you take down something else on either side of the field. So you protect the Kyogre here by switching it out, getting it out of there. You probably bring in something like the Talonflame in that spot, and I think, what's his last Pokemon? Incineroar?
It is Incineroar, yeah.
I think you bring in Incineroar in place of the Kyogre, and then you let Necrozma either go down, or Necrozma's going to be the one who's going to be switched out for something else as well.
We are going to see the Kyogre switch out, but it's going to switch out into Talonflame. Still a good spot here. Necrozma going to protect here. It is at +1 with the weakness policy, so that might be the reason why we see that happening. We're going to see knockoff attempt and Precipice Blades, and basically nothing happened.
That's cool. This is cool, guys. This is not stressful.
So now I think.
Now you protect Talonflame, and then you let Necrozma go down. I don't know. Like at this point, it's if Gio can bring in Kyogre at a relatively good spot where he can take care of both the Pokemon on Andrew's side without activating the berries there because he'll be in rain. And do at least some sort of chip damage to make sure to guarantee the knockouts. Tapu Koko is going to be in a horrible spot.
Oh yeah, Tapu Koko.
Which actually means you need to protect Talonflame for later on because you'll need that Tailwind as well.
Yeah.
And you have to force Andrew to make a choice, and that choice is that whichever Pokemon he's gonna attack, he's gonna get attacked back. Like taking down that Yveltal was the most important thing.
I think, despite it not looking like it right now, I think Giovanni does have the upper hand. He's got, no matter what, with Talonflame or Duskmane Necrozma, he's been having the speed advantage this entire game long. We see the Tapu Koko going in, possibly Andrew's just sacrificing it to keep Groudon alive for later. Try and knock out these two right now. We see Necrozma. It is going to outspeed.
Sunsteel Strike. Yeah, you're in Trick Room right now. When you're running a hard Trick Room like this, or like that's what you know you have to do. You are going to make sure you're going to be like the fastest in Trick Room.
Sunsteel Strike gets the Incineroar past that half damage, but unfortunately for Giovanni, that Necrozma is gone. He still has 3 Pokemon left. That's not terrible.
That's okay.
It's not terrible.
If you're Gio, that's still okay because he's forced to bring in Groudon here. You have the option of being able to bring in Incineroar again. You Flare Blitz, I think, into the Tapu Koko spot here.
And that's
it's a lot of damage.
It's going to be enough to knock out, and that means Andrew now down to his last 2 Pokemon. Like you said, Giovanni.
You bring in here. You bring in Incineroar.
I think he needs to get that.
See,
yeah.
Not just for the intimidates, but for the fake out, because you need to make sure that you don't get faked out with your Kyogre.
So what I'm wondering is this a good time for Giovanni to set up Tailwind for Kyogre later? Because you fake out the opposing Incineroar, and there's Incineroar, and then Groudon, we haven't seen anything really. We've seen Roar, we've seen Protect, and we've seen Precipice Blades. What would be that last move? Do you think it would be? Like something like Fire Punch that they try and target Talonflame, or do you think they just go for the knockout on Incineroar?
See, that's tough because like, 2 turns of Trick Room left, and just gonna have to burn a Protect at some point, which means Gio has to protect the Talonflame, which I think we're actually gonna see now. We're gonna see a Protect on the Talonflame because his win condition later on is gonna be that Tailwind. If he doesn't get rid of that Tapu Koko now, he's in trouble because he can go for Scald later on, or if he has enough HP on Kyogre, he can go for single target Water Spout. The biggest thing is if Geo doesn't get rid of, sorry, not the top coat, if he doesn't get rid of like that Incineroar, or I think he'll be okay. If he fakes out the right Pokemon, he'll be in an okay spot. I think Groudon's going to go for a Protect on this turn.
No, it does not. We're going to see the fake out onto the Groudon instead with a critical hit. And the fake out from Andrew's Incineroar onto Kyogre. So now, now with this case, I think the Trick Room's still in play, so the Incineroars are going to be fast and stuff. I think Giovanni's Kyogre.
No, you switch out Kyogre, you bring in Talonflame, you set up Tailwind for next turn because Trick Room's going to expire now. Groudon's going to Protect, and I think Incineroar's going to go for either a knockoff or a U-turn into this. Oh no, because then when you bring in Talonflame, I don't like this. Incineroar's a problem. That's it. Incineroar's a problem. Knockoff Incineroar is a problem.
This could go either way, really, yeah.
But I think for sure Groudon's gonna go for a Protect here.
I think so too. Incineroar swapping the Talonflame here, so Talonflame at 15. But you do have that possible fake out later. There's that Protect from the Groudon. Alright, we're gonna see
you survive a knockoff.
There's the knockoff. And it's right because the choice specs are gone. It's actually gonna target the Talonflame instead. And now this Kyogre is free to go for a Scald, and it does target the Incineroar.
Oh my god, wait, no, he 100% wins now.
That's it.
He wins, because unless
fake out Scald.
The only way Andrew wins is if he gets a double Protect.
I think it's a 50-50 shot.
If Andrew gets a double Protect, he wins.
Let's see.
Possibly. Actually,
no. Fake out Scald's gonna do it for sure.
Well, you can get a double Protect, right?
Yeah.
But actually, Geo might still win because Precipice Blades won't. I don't know if Precipice Blades won't do enough damage at that point.
No, Incineroar's
so I think Geo wins.
But Incineroar wouldn't be. Yeah, there's a double Protect. That's gonna do it.
Yeah, double Protect was like one of his best win conditions there.
I think that was it. I think that.
And then he had to hope for then he would have had to hit both Precipice Blades and then hope it was enough of a damage roll onto that Kyogre. So that was an exciting brutal 3 games. Woo!
Congrats to Giovanni Costa for taking the tournament.
I mean, also, like, Andrew, good job to him, too, because coming back from something like that, especially when you've taken a break for so long, it's really tough, I think, to come back with something like that. But what a way to end our PC series for Moon. We've got 2 mid-seasons. Next week, Tijuana is having their mid-season, so I think they also have a stream. Go ahead and check online for some information about that. And then we will be having our mid-season showdown on March 24th. Which is the day after my sister's birthday, so I have every excuse to go now. So I'll see you guys there. Please don't forget, next week is Brampton, Toronto. So there is no stream, but go ahead and check in with people online. We are going to wish our own Terry Hong some good luck from over here, from all of us here at SoCal. Register for Greensboro, register for Daytona. Daytona is the first Ultra Series Regional. Let's go, guys.
Exciting.
Thanks for joining us. It's late. I'm going to go get some sleep. Bye.
Peace out, guys.